Step 6 for sex addiction. That's our topic today, and hopefully you've watched step 1 through 5 before you got to this one. I really appreciate you staying on this journey of the 12 steps. If you're a recovering sex addict, these can be life-changing for you. So that's our topic today. Now, if you have a question, please put it in the box. If you have yet to subscribe, we have over 300 plus DVD things available on YouTube to help you on your journey of recovery, marriage, life. Please subscribe. It'll help you be notified. We put things out all the time, and just to encourage you in your path to recovery. So do that, and we'll be right back. Welcome to step 6 on sex addiction. Now, step 6 it's kind of a pivotal step. It's a hard step, kind of like earlier, we talked about being willing. So let me read it to you, and let's start parsing this together so that we can get some of the jewels that this step gives to us. The steps are so full of life. I've done them personally. I've had thousands of my clients do them, and they're so life-changing. So let's read this step 6 and see where it takes us. Step 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Now, I need to really spend some time on entirely. We're entirely. Now, these words are very important to understand. The word entirely isn't like, I have a defective character and I kind of like it, I get away with stuff, procrastination's a great character defect, and as long as I put things off, it's great. If you could just maybe just take a little bit off of it, that's not entirely. Or maybe you're lazy, maybe you lie, maybe you don't take responsibility for your behavior, maybe you're not proactive in life, you're reactive in life. There are thousands of defects of character that we can have. I remember specifically, I was in New Mexico doing a conference, and I was early in recovery, and I was doing my step 6. I remember sitting in the hotel room and writing out character defect after character defect after character defect after character defect, which is great. And if you haven't done that yet, you should. You want to have a list of your character defects. Now, what's really cool to do is 5, 10, 15 years later, look at that list and see that, you've made some progress. But step 6 isn't about the future. Step 6 is about your heart. Step 6 is, are you all in getting these things that are flaws, that are defects, that hurt you, that hurt others, that hurt your life, that are keeping you from reaching your destiny in many areas of your life, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, financially, relationally? Are you really entirely ready to get out of the cage? Are you really tired of being tired of something in your life? Entirely ready is kind of like if you found out you had this incurable disease that was causing you all kinds of pain. Your bones hurt, your muscles hurt, your body was in pain 24/7, your temperature was up. They tell you that you only got 6 weeks to live, and you're into it, and someone walks into your hospital bedroom and says, I have a permanent cure for you. You'll never suffer another day. You will never suffer this temperature, this pain, this ache that you're feeling right now, forever. I just need to know if you're entirely ready to do what I'm going to ask you to do for you to get better. Now, most of us in that situation wouldn't even care what the doctor was going to prescribe, whether it was a pill, a shot, an IV treatment, or whether it was an exercise regimen, change my diet, I can't smoke cigarettes anymore. Whatever it was, we'd be all in because we wanted to stop. That's what entirely means. It means yes to God before He asks you the question. So I'm entirely in. All of me agrees to get rid of my impatience, my rudeness, my unkindness, my selfishness, my self-willedness, my rebellion against even common sense. As sex addicts, we violate so many of these things because we were immature. We stop developing, I've talked about this before, spiritually, emotionally, morally, as an addict. Here we have to be entirely ready to have God. Now, to have God. Now, this is really important for you to understand. This isn't a self-help program. This is a God program. To have God remove all these defects. To have God. Now, to have God remove anything, you have to be close enough for him to remove it. You know, if I have a splinter, you can't remove my splinter from being halfway across the room. You might wish to heal my splinter. You might want to help me. You might have a good heart about it, but you can't do it unless you're close. Now, here's what I would encourage you to do. Be close enough to God that he can remove these things. Be close enough that being close to him is so important that if something's distracting that, you're like, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you want to stop that character defect. But we're putting ourselves on the surgical table of God. We're not joining a self-help program. We're not, and I'm okay with reading books that help you, destroy character defects. And I'm okay with you creating accountability and having consequences and setting up a regimen that can help you. But at the end of the day, it's God who takes these defects from our heart. It's God who goes in there and says, I need to go in, and so many of us, we have claw marks on our defects. It's like God's wanting to take it, but we're grabbing and holding and scratching, and we don't let go. God, if you want my unkindness, my selfishness, if you want my willfulness, if you want my rebellion, if you want my hate of certain things or people, if you want my unforgiveness, if you want my jealousy, if you want my comparison to others, what do you want, God? Do you want my arrogance? You want me thinking that I'm more than I am? I'm ready. I'm ready to have you remove that. It's hurting me, God. And I can't do it by myself, and I can't do it at all. It's almost like here we're at another level of powerlessness, not just about our addiction, but about ourselves, our defects, the way we process, our beliefs that are incorrect. Okay? We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character, regardless of what they are. God has seen them before. He's done this surgery on billions of people. People are people. They've been the same people for, thousands of years, as long as time goes back, and they've had these same defects that you have. There's nothing new about humanity. You haven't come up with anything new, except maybe like if you have a phone addiction, like just because there weren't phones before. But people have been addicted, they've been selfish, they've been arrogant, they've been rude, they've been unkind, they've been murderous, they've been hateful, they've been jealous, they've been self-loathing, which is all by itself a character defect. They've been disrespectful, unkind, you name it. You've suffered from some of the character defects of other people. And some people have suffered from your character defects. What step 6 is, I'm all in, God. I don't know how, I don't have a plan, but I'm in. I want the cure. I'm willing to be close enough to you for you to guide me and help me and give me wisdom, or even create circumstances that expose my dark heart. I'm in, whatever it takes. I want these things permanently and forever out of my heart and out of my life. That is step 6. Now see, what you've done in step 1 and 2 and 3 is really important. You've acknowledged that you're powerless, great concept. You've turned your life over to God who's much better than you are. Your will over to him. You've wrote your inventory. You know what your defects are. Step 6 is just saying, I'm in, God, for the whole ride. Take everything that is making me not look like you out of my heart. Take every relationship that does not benefit me out of my life. I want you, God, to help me. So I'm putting myself on your surgeon's table. I'm opening up my heart and this pussy, and I want you to do what you got to do. But please don't let me stay the same. Don't let me be who I've been. Help me to be more like you. Help me to be free from some of these self-made chains that I've created or that I've duplicated from my family, but I'm responsible for that duplication. So I don't want that. I want my kids, I want my friends, I want my life to improve from where I've come from. That's step 6. And if you're working the workbook, it'd be really helpful for you to work all the way through that, get your feedback. Now again, if you have a question about this step or anything in your recovery, just send us a quick question. We'll get to it as soon as possible. And if you haven't subscribed, please, I know these are helping you. So please subscribe so you can get 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. We really are very supportive of your recovery. So jump in and do step 6.